debut of this particular program. It will be coming to you every Wednesday at 10 a.m. and Fridays at 1:30 p.m. here on Flow 94.9 FM. Now, the quest to occupy the top job of Nigeria will be determined later this month by Nigerians when they will elect their preferred candidate for the job on the 25th. Based on this, one of the four major contenders for Nigeria President, Peter Obi of the Labour Party, has been giving Nigerians reasons he is a better person for the job, and it continues on this platform this morning as Abians expect his visit to the state for campaigns. We'll look at the chances of the Labour Party to win election this month and during next month's governorship election in Abia State. Welcome. My guest is Ferdinand Ekoma. He's a regular. I'm sure you know him very well. He's the media, the spokesperson to Alex Oti campaign organization here in Abia State. Good morning, Ferdinand. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Geneka. Good morning, listeners.
Okay, while we wait for Chief Wakinem to join us later on the program, I think we should also start with the visit. I think, have you concluded plans for your presidential candidate to come to Abia State for campaigns?
Yes, we have. And you know that the visit was actually supposed to be on Tuesday. Okay, yesterday was Tuesday. Sorry, the visit was supposed to be on Monday, and we put it off.
2 days ago?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, and of course you are aware that we put off a lot of other activities last week after the announcement of the demise of the PDP governorship candidate, Professor Uche Ikone. And finally, of course, there are developments every now and then, but finally, the Presidential Campaign Council has decided to, host the visit, to hold the visit on Friday. That's next 2 days, 3rd of February 2023. So this time around, a lot of things changed with respect to the previous arrangements. It was supposed to be a rally, that was supposed to be held at Umar Hatanshi Stadium. Now it has been changed. It is more of a town hall meeting now.
Okay.
So he will be in Abia on Friday. Later this afternoon, I'm going to chronicle the itinerary. I'm going to make the itinerary, public, because he will be in Umuahia, he will be in Aba. He will interact with Aba business community. He will also be in Umuahia, interact with students and stakeholders and the rest of them. So he's going to speak to a lot of different Abia groups in Abia State. But it's tentatively, it's holding on Friday. That's the most important thing. Now, we are sorry for the delay in the necessary publicities. It's not publicity. It's not as a result of our own failure. Like I told you, remember that it was actually supposed to be in December, and it was put off, by the Presidential Campaign Council, and now it was supposed to be a few days ago. We now moved it to Friday. So but then that would not, of course, by the special grace of God, that is not going to be the last rally or last outing in Abia State.
Okay.
After this event of Friday, we're confident that he will come again in Abia. Of course, this is his home. Of course, you should also know that that is not to mean that Abians have been taken for granted, Ondibo have been taken for granted, but you do not expect the kind of attention that is being paid to some states, maybe up north and all the rest of them, to be the same attention to be paid to states here. This is his home. He doesn't even need to say Jack.
Okay, so maybe the support should be organic.
Very organic here.
Okay.
And so that's why we are all doing our best to ensure that it's a huge success. The man believes that he cannot have Alex Oti and Abia and trouble himself. Of course.
Yeah, because I'm going to ask you about how the mobilization has been so far with Alex Oti in front of the whole thing here. Because since there won't be any open rally again, right?
Yes, at the moment. But I will communicate again later this afternoon, because there is going to be a meeting of the Presidential Campaign Council. And after that, this afternoon, we give full details of what is going to happen. But it's more of a town hall meeting. He's going to, because this the Aba business community, stakeholders, members of the academia have shown so much interest in having an audience with Mr. P2B, and the PCC thought it was appropriate to grant them that request. So it's going to be more of interaction, but there will be massive movement. Of course, when
there won't be maybe procession in the streets and the rest of them, like we've seen. We saw that in Port Harcourt.
Yes,
we also saw it
that must
in
happen.
other places.
That must happen. Of course, you can't say he's entering, into Abia without expecting that people will troop out en masse, those who have been mobilized and those who come out on their own to come and receive him. So there will be processions.
Okay, it's a special edition of the platform, and it is a time out with Labour Party. Let's take a breather now. When we come back, we'll bring it up and talk about Dr. Alex Otti and his ambition to become the governor of Abia State next month, hopefully. Stay with us. All right, welcome back to the program. It's still a special edition of the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion, and we call it a time out with the Labour Party here on Flow 94.9 FM. My name is Ginika Olwa, and my guest has been Ferdinand Ekoma, the spokesperson to Alex Otti Campaign Council here in Abia State. Welcome back to the program, Ferdinand.
Thank you, Ginika.
Now, I don't know if you've seen that particular report recently that the presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, said he's been having talks with your presidential candidate, Peter Obi, and that of NNPP, and that either of them will join him soon. Is there any plan for Peter Obi to step down for Atiku Abubakar?
It should be the other way around. Everybody knows who Nigerians want at a time like this. Everybody knows who should be the president of Nigeria at a time like this. Nigeria is in a shambolic state. Nigeria is in chaos. Nigeria is sliding by the day. So you need a man that has character. You need a man that has reputation. You need a man that has rich knowledge of the economy. You need a man that is prudent, a man that has demonstrated practically that he can turn things around if given the opportunity to preside over the affairs of Nigeria. So it sounds funny, it sounds very hilarious to imagine that P2B will be stepping down for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Well, many people
want
to believe that. If you remember 4 years ago, he was a running mate to Atiku Abubakar. So if he approaches him now and said, "Come on, gentlemen, can you just step down for me?" and we'll do it behind closed doors.
Well, first, he was in PDP then. Two, that you were a running mate to someone does not mean you are inferior. That is the truth. So, and you saw when P2B left, this Labour Party has been, with due respect, had been a little unknown party. Okay, proud to now. So even when Obi left the PDP, they were heartbroken because they were expecting that they would leverage on Obi's popularity, acceptability, especially down east, south, and all the rest of them, to win the forthcoming presidential election. So that was when P2B left everywhere. There was confusion. So it took a lot of time for them to recover from the shock. So it doesn't mean anything that he was his vice presidential candidate. Now P2B is the presidential candidate, and everybody could see how popular, how acceptable, how prepared he is. That's the most important thing. He is very prepared, and he has demonstrated it. He has, stood or sat on different platforms to speak, and Nigerians are convinced across party, religious, and sectional lines that indeed this man is the best for the country at this point in time.
Okay, now let's bring it back home. Like I said earlier, let's talk about your principal, Dr. Alex Otti, the governorship candidate of the Labour Party. Let's look at his chances this time around. This is his third attempt at the governorship position. How confident are you that he's going to win this time around? Does he have the backing of major stakeholders in Abia State? He was there in 2015, 2019, and this is 2023.
What is happening or what is going to happen in the next few weeks, and March 11th, will represent the fulfillment of a promise that was made in 2015, a promise that was delayed, a vision that was delayed, a project, a voyage that was delayed, is going to come to accomplishment come 11th March 2023. Just like Nigeria, Abia is crawling. Abia is in a state of decay and deterioration. Abia is in a state of, unbelievable economic crisis. Therefore, you need a man with the pedigree, a man that has character and capacity, a man that has compassion, a man that is skilled, a man that is exposed, a man that is prepared, not a man that has been drafted by anybody to come and run for governor. Alex Otti's chances are very, very bright, and we are convinced, especially with the kind of upsurge we are experiencing across the nooks and crannies of Abia State. People are trooping in, people are joining, people are aligning, people are embracing us wherever we go, because Alex Otti's message is very clear. His vision, his plans and programs are very clear. They are unambiguous. People could see what he wants to do, how he wants to do it. It's easy for everyone to come out and say, I want to be governor. Why do you want to be a governor? How do you want to change the sad narrative we have in Abia? Alex Otti has demonstrated beyond every reasonable doubt that he has what it takes to write Abia's checkered history. And because Abians are fed up with the kind of rudderless government we've had in Abia since 1999, they feel that this is the most golden opportunity, this is the best opportunity to reclaim their states. And the most important thing is that they have the best. Alex Otti is the best. Our chances are, bright. Stakeholders are embracing us. We are doing grassroots campaigns. We've gone to different local governments. We've gone to Kwan East, to Kwan West. We've gone to Ohofia. We've gone to Bende. We've gone to Sukwato. We've gone to Umunochi. We are still going. We've gone to Ikuano. We've gone to Umahia South. We just concluded Umahia North yesterday. So we are penetrating, and the way we've been doing it, the grassroots, we are speaking to the people, and our message is very clear. Look at what I want to do. Look at how I want to do it. Look at the present situation. If things are not done the right way, if we don't take urgent steps to correct the ills ravaging Abia, Abia will collapse beyond redemption. And that is why this is the time. And that is why Alex Otti is telling Abians, weep no more. Help is on the way.
So what has been the level of acceptance, by the people? You say you've been meeting with people at the grassroots and stakeholders, because I'm expecting to hear, okay, this person is supporting Alex Otti, this other person is supporting Alex Otti. So tell us, what is the level of acceptance or acceptability of Otti, especially at the grassroots?
Thank you. I've made reference to grassroots. As far as we are concerned, democracy is all about the majority, the masses. We have respected senior citizens, individuals, but this election is not about name, just like a P2B's election. So we do not want to anchor it on this big man has endorsed Alex Otti, and because of that, you will now reduce the relevance and importance of the people, the ordinary people, ordinary in parentheses. So we do not want to do that. But I can tell you that just 2 days ago, Alex Otti had a town hall meeting with the leadership and members of Abia Sports Club. It was massive. The endorsement was overwhelming. The acceptability was very clear. It was loud because his programs are very clear. If you go to Abia Sports Club, you see the creme de la creme of Abia business community there. Respected senior citizens, wealthy people, exposed industrialists and all the rest of them. They know that with Alex Otti, there will be a serious turnaround in their businesses, in their investments, and all the rest of them. So they are embracing somebody whom they know can lift Abia beyond the slums level it is at the moment. They are embracing Alex Otti because they know that his vision. They've read his manifesto, and when he spoke 2 days ago at Abia Sports Club, of course, offhand, interacted with people, questions were thrown from different directions, and they clearly saw that the man has his rich knowledge of what he wants to do. Just last week or so, we were at Ibeku, where respected traditional rulers of Ibeku endorsed him. A few days ago, I'm sure you heard that the general overseer of OPM, Apostle Chibozo Chinyere, who is considered one of the biggest philanthropists at the moment, a respected religious leader with massive, followership, endorsed Alex Otti. He didn't mess well. He said, I'm an Abian. I have PDP people, I have ABGA people, I have APC members in my church. But this man is the best candidate, and if we must get it right at this point in time in Abia, then we must look in the direction of Alex Otti, and without equivocation, he endorsed him. Now, what of Ochaga Bibia Pugo, whom some people tried to misrepresent a few days ago by claiming that he endorsed them? Of course, Ochaga Bibia Pugo, in line with his consistency, came out once again to say, I did not endorse, in as much as I'm a BOT member of APC, in as much as I'm a member of a national caucus of APC, but I am supporting P2B, I am supporting Alex Otti. He says Alex Otti is the man that is going to wipe the tears of Abians. He has what it takes, he has the pedigree, he has the passion, he has the sincerity, and he is prepared to do it. They are just countless. We were at Okwa a few weeks ago, I think that was in December. We go there and see what happened. To go and ask questions. People trooped out. We had 168 pensioners seated at a particular hall waiting for us from morning till around to 7 when we went there, because we were trying to crisscross different parts of Nkwa West, the difficult terrain. Of course, you know the situation there, that is collapse in infrastructure. If you go to Nkwa, you will not believe that Nkwa West is an oil producing state. That it is because of Nkwa West that Abia is called an oil producing state. So we spoke to them, Alex Otti spoke to them, they narrated their situation, the very terrible situation they are passing through. They told us how many the number of their members that have died in the last 1 year, and they expressed confidence in Alex Otti, in the ability of Alex Otti to turn things around. And just like Alex Otti has been saying wherever he goes, that immediately he becomes the governor come May 29th, 2023, that by 31st December 2023, that all arrears of salary and pension would have been cleared. And of course,
how will he do that? Because that I'm sure you've been following the activities of this present government. They will tell you there's no money. Where will he get the money? Or is he planning to borrow as well?
Okay, first and foremost, the government you made reference to, how much of debt did they inherit? 34.5 billion is heading to 190 billion as we speak. What did they do with the other money? How much are pensioners and the civil servants are being owed? How much? So it is not as a result of lack of money. It's as a result of lack of sincerity, lack of compassion, lack of willingness to do what is right. Okay, so Abia is endowed with human and material resources, and Alex Otti has continued to analyze those resources we have that can be properly harnessed and develop the state. So the resources are there, and he will, as a financial expert, as a manager of resources, he knows what to do, and he will do it. Just apply high level of frugality in the management of public funds, and you will be able to achieve a lot. Then deploy your creativity, deploy your network of contacts, which Alex Otti has in abundance. With that, you will be able to do very, very well.
What plans does he have for infrastructure? No, I'm not talking about Abba now, because I know that everybody will say we'll focus on Abba, we'll focus on Abba. We have other local government, Ferdinand. You will agree with me. You are from Bende. I'm sure you are not having the best of infrastructure there.
Sure.
So also other local governments in Abia State. So what plans does Alex Otti have for these other local governments?
It's actually going to be holistic. For example, now if you are talking about the three major cities that constitute Abia, it's about Umuahia and Ohafia. But nobody talks about Ohafia. Even Umuahia is state capital where we are at the moment. Does it look like a state capital? Does it even look like a city, let alone a state capital? So what Alex Otti is going to do is going to be holistic. All these local governments are endowed with different kinds of natural resources. And like I said, once you deploy your resources properly and appropriately, once you apply the principle of frugality in the management of resources, you will prioritize the needs of every local government. You will invest in infrastructure. Alex Otti has continued to say that if you don't invest in infrastructure, whatever you are preaching about investment, about foreign investment, will be a joke, because there are people who will have the desire to come to my local government of Bende to build industries, but because there is no infrastructure, because the road network there is poor, that the people are just have surrendered to fate. Most of the needs of the people, they take care by themselves, and it shouldn't be. When we when the local government receives around 180, 190 million every month, I'm not talking about what comes from the FAC account that should be used to develop Bende. But imagine where our 180 to 190 million is deployed every month after paying workers. At least every ward in Bende will get 10 million to take care of certain needs. Now, if you multiply, let's say 180 million by 12, that's 2 point something billion. So you could see that each ward would have gotten a lot of money that will impact. I'm talking about local government allocation. I'm not talking about the one the state. I'm not talking about internally generated revenue or the FAC allocation for the state. So you find out that if you want to do what is right, you will be able to develop these local governments because they are all critical. When you talk about Abia, it's the local governments that constitute Abia. You understand? It's the local government, and the allocation you receive, federal allocation you receive, is not meant for a particular local government. If you share them equally, prioritize the needs of every local government, you come to Obingwa, you say, okay, I will build real estate here, I will invest in farm because they have a arable land where a lot of farmers would need the necessary incentives to do well in the agriculture. Alex Otti has, for example, talked about cooperative society, setting up cooperative society for farmers, for women, for youths, for people who are doing all kinds of businesses. When you empower these people, you will reduce hunger. You do a lot of things.
I hope that this kind of cooperative society will not end up being managed by politicians who may not allow it to get to the people.
It's not possible. If you know the man we're talking about, and we said this with every sense of humility. Alex Otti has described himself as a politician on intervention. He's not an everyday politician, and that is what some people don't like at all to hear. He's a politician with a second address. He's a man that came here to do a job and get out of this place. That's why I said, I'm not coming here to say, after this one, I go for Senate. If it were some people, of course, after the 2015 election, is it that they would have collected money, or they would have realigned and joined the same government they claimed they were coming to remove, or they would have even said, okay, now let me hustle for appointment of any board, this one or the other one, or let me run for Senate, and all those kinds. But that is not his level. He's not your everyday politician. He's a politician on intervention, and he has come here on a serious intervention to change the narrative.
Okay, Ferdinand, it's time for us to allow our listener to be part of this particular discussion. My guest has been the spokesperson to Alex Otti Campaign Council here in Abia State, Ferdinand Ekoma, talking about what Alex Otti intends to do if he gets elected by March 11th this year. It's time for you to join the conversation. The numbers to call are 08081826949 or 08116052949. You can also send your SMS on 09065108289. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, welcome.
Ikechukwu calling from Umaya.
Welcome, Ikechukwu. Go ahead.
Alex Otti of Labour Party. There's Alex Otti, Adesina, the one of African Development Bank, EW Konjiwala, World Trade Organization, and P2D. These are like minds, the same character of financial disciplinarians. They are coming from a financial institution, a reputable organization that doesn't spend funds frivolously or lavishly. They are disciplinarians. They know where to place policies and programs. Government is not about cosmetic projects. Imported, when you go to abroad, you see flyover. You put it like this thing Wike is doing, and people are suffering. Government is a generating policy. If development is all about building here, build here, build here, you develop human. Are you not the one on the street in Organica? Because your parents send you to school and develop your school, develop you, and you are serving the public.
Okay, wrap up.
Nigeria now doesn't have that knowledge.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ikechukwu. Thank you, Ikechukwu. Okay. Thank you so much. I think we now have Chief Waka Inem. He joins us virtually now. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Chief Wink.
Yeah, hello.
Chief Wakainem, welcome to the program. We've been trying to get across to you, but your line wasn't actually connecting. Okay, so welcome. Quickly, just tell us, what is the preparation like ahead of the visit of the presidential candidate of your party, Mr. Peter Obi?
Okay, good morning, everybody. We are virtually prepared and ready to receive His Excellency ex-Governor Peter Obi, who will be in Abia State on Friday the 3rd, in continuation of his nationwide campaign tours. And as far as the members of the Presidential Campaign Council is concerned, as far as the Labour Party family is concerned, as far as the obedient Obidati family is concerned, we are ready for him. And is going to drive home the point we have been making about the new lead of life that will come to Nigeria come May 2023 upon the victory of Mr. Peter Obi.
Okay, so tell us the mobilization. Are we expecting to see much people this time around when you compare to what we saw or we've been seeing so far in the north, where you are not getting enough people, especially at the party at the rally ground? What are we expecting this time around in Abia State when he visits?
First of all, let me correct your impression of not getting enough people at the rallies in some parts of the north. We've been getting more than a fair share of people in the rallies across the states in the north. More than a fair share. You see, we are dealing with organic crowd and not with rented crowd. Okay. And not with rented crowd. In a situation whereby 90% of the people that attended your rally and vote and eventually vote for you, you are a huge success. More than 10% of people that attended your rally will eventually vote for you. So that is the correct situation in Abia. Knowing fully well that Abian people have naturally become obedient, both by the party mobilization and the self-organic mobilization, you are going to see a lot of people. In any case, 80% of people that will vote for you are not the people that come out of rally. You know, you are dealing with people that are self-employed, people that feed themselves, that do their business. Yes, they will love you. They might not leave their business to come for rally. That does not in any way affect their commitment in voting for you. That should be made clear.
Okay.
So the number of people that comes out for a rally is not a measure of the level of support and commitment that people have, and understanding that people have for your aspiration. But having said that, I can assure you, you will see a lot of crowd that will welcome P2V on Friday, both in Abia and in Abia, because it is going to happen simultaneously.
Okay, let me sincerely thank you. A member of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council, Chief Wakaine. Thank you so much for joining us on the program this morning.
God bless you.
Thank you. Okay, let's return to the phone lines and see if we can take one or two more calls before we leave the studio. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Jimmy.
Good morning, welcome.
Good morning to your guests in the house.
Good morning, sir.
Who say man no days the name I'm calling from Umai.
Okay, go ahead.
Please, I won't go this way. I want to ask some question and then I just needed a clear answer. There was this rumor that Dr. Lexoti has been flown out of the state for medical issues. I don't know how true it is. Okay. So I want Ferdinand to tell me if our adventure happens to be true. I'm not saying for anybody to be sick.
Okay, all right. He will respond to that right away. Okay, Ferdinand.
Thank you, Hussein Man. No day. Dr. Lexoti, as we speak, is in Omahia at the moment. Yesterday, we were in Omahia North. You know, last week we did a part of Omahia North in our campaign. We taught part of Omahia North, and yesterday we concluded, and we were on ground till around past 10 p.m. Okay, Dr. Lexoti is physically fit. He's on ground. I said he is in Omahia. You know, a few minutes ago, he just drove into Omahia, you know, from Isialangwa. There is no problem at all. He's very healthy. He's very fine. He's very okay. We don't mock those who are sick, but he is not sick. And of course, if you have followed our trajectory, you will know that we have always identified with the governor when he was sick. We identified with late Professor Chikone when he was sick. We supported them. We showed solidarity. We have never attempted to play politics with anybody's health. But I can assure you, Dr. Alex Otti is very healthy. If he was flown abroad or if he was sick, and I will go firm, I will go straight to answer and say, yes, he is sick, it's true. But he is not sick, he's healthy, he's fit, he's available, he's physically fit, and has been making himself available for people to speak to him, to scrutinize him. He has been responding to questions. So he's okay.
Well, Ferdinand, I think that will be your final take on the program. Yes, we are almost out of time. We are not here on time, so I hope by Friday you'll be here on time. Thank you so much. The spokesperson to Alex Otti Campaign Council here in Abia State, Ferdinand Dekoma. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, my brother.
And to Nwaka Inem, Chief Nwaka Inem, a member of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council, who joined us virtually, a few minutes ago. Thank you so much. And to all of you who called in, thank you so much. This show returns on Friday at 10 a.m. talking about the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. And don't forget to join the Time Out with Labour Party on Friday at 1:30 p.m. here on Flow 94.9 FM. My name is Ginika Oloha. I'll see you again. Good morning.